Hello, my name is Ariel Houghton and I am the co-chair of the Victoria Urban Food Table, or UFT. The UFT is an independent committee to the City of Victoria on urban food systems. We endeavor to bring together people working and volunteering across all sectors touched by food to advise on food policy. We welcome new members and any follow-up questions from this presentation. We're pleased with the amount of attention provided to food systems in this official community plan. Thank you to this engagement team and staff who have worked to ensure that food systems are a vital part of our vision for our growing city. Here on the screen, you can see a few highlights that we would like to celebrate. Now we'll use the remainder of our time to highlight key areas of improvement for this draft of the OCP. First, we call upon the City of Victoria to develop and implement a strategy with measurable goals, resources, and timelines for Victoria's urban food system. There are a growing number of cities in Canada that have a food system strategy. Vancouver, Burnaby, Calgary, to name a few, have all acknowledged that uncoordinated and reactive policy will not achieve an abundant and resilient food system. They have a food strategy, and it's time that we do too. Next, we need to discuss the non-committal language within the OCP. We call on the city to replace weak verbs such as support, encourage, and consider with active ones like commit, ensure, and work with to deliver. Visionary documents set a transformative, bold course of action, not just possibilities. The language in our OCP should be equipped with the ambition and agency to reflect that. Next, we draw your attention to the need to include community gardens as critical food systems infrastructure. Community gardens play a critical role in addressing rising food insecurity in Victoria. They offer access to fresh, local produce and culturally relevant foods, all the while fostering self-reliance and resilience, and a sense of community. By committing to expand community gardens, develop a more sustainable funding model, and prioritize their access to water and land, we can ensure these communal food growing spaces are treated like the vital public infrastructure they are. Now let's talk about zoning regulations and how they can better support small-scale urban farmers. First, we call on the city to allow farm stands to sell food produced from other farmers or off-site. This allows urban farms to increase the range of product they can supply, supporting neighboring farms and enhancing their likeliness of success. Second, we call on the city to remove any restrictions on size for rooftop gardens. Floor size ratios have been a consistent barrier in the development of rooftop gardens, and it's time that we change that. Anyone who has grown a vegetable can tell you that without sun, soil, and water, you won't be getting a yield. Our existing and future growing spaces need access to the south-facing sun for growing throughout all 4 seasons. That means at least 8 hours of sun from mid-April to mid-September, the peak growing seasons. Soil quality is not mentioned explicitly in the OCP, nor is soil volume or contiguity emphasized for food systems use. We ask that soil quality and volume for food production be explicitly stated in the OCP. Further, marine waterways need to be included in the food systems vision. Marine-based food was a primary source of food for Indigenous people, making up 70% or more of their diet prior to colonization. If we want to ensure a resilient food system, we can't forget about the ocean. When the OCP talks about the blue economy, it needs to include the regeneration of our waterways. It takes a village, or in this case, a city, to ensure that the right partners can come to the table. That means creating incentives for businesses and developers to comply, working with nonprofits and community associations to integrate and deliver. The city's role is to ensure that we're all working within an environment that supports decisions that build a resilient local food system. I'll leave you with this: a comprehensive list of cities with food system strategies. Thank you for your time and your attention.